Hello, this is Kim. And yes, part of this is a test. It is July 9th, and I am going to have a reading in just a few hours. And I haven't had a reading in quite a while. So, like I'm working on, where am I going to be? What's going to be behind me right now? There's a leather coat. You can't tell it's a leather coat. It just looks black. So maybe my hat has to come back. I don't know these things, right? Play around. This reading is technically for the week of the 9th. So I always sort of like, if you find this, please take it if it resonates, even if it's not. I'm using 3 decks. The third one is a trigger warning. It does have sexual content. If you have any uh inclinations of not wanting to that's fine. Although I have to say that it's not truly provocative cards. It's okay. But respect your choices. Okay, that's the trigger warning. And if you have a yes no question, those are probably going to be the cards that tell you. So you do you. Okay. So yes, I got these off of a website that I probably shouldn't have. I'm now seeing all this stuff about like bad, you're bad if you use this, and I'm like, well, it was cheap, but you get what you pay for. I love this artwork, so I was not going to be able to afford it elsewhere. So this is the Mystical Wisdom card deck. Now it's written by Gay Guthrie, but the art is by Josephine Wall. And we here at TNL, all right, I'll even say it, the Terra Nova Lyceum, really love her artwork. I just find it gorgeous. We also have the Lonely Soul that we're going to be using, and I'm probably going to forget to show you the boxes. That's why I'm showing you now. And the third one, I will wait because I will put it up in the timestamp so that those of you choose. I, I believe in choice, and I definitely want to respect you. Okay. Now, everyone knows I went to the lavender farm, so this is lavender and honeysuckle. And before my reading, I'm seeing if I'm allergic to it. So that I know if I can either burn it or not. Mm. And like some of the time I'll have a leather jacket on and a spike. And like I hope you join me if you see this. And if not, you know how it is. All right. So I collect fortunes. It's true. It's kind of a weird thing that I do, but yet what I do. So this says courage is not the absence of fear, it is the conquest of it. And that is precisely the message that I needed to hear. Okay. I don't know if you did. I hope it is. Courage, right? Definitely. All right. First card. These did not really pop out. I mean, like I think it went in order, but I don't think that they necessarily mean like day by day. I think it's sort of a general like flow and ebb, and everyone's going to be slightly different. This is new beginnings. Begin your new life. Now, that very much I think is probably the phoenix, sort of this recreation of oneself, rising from ashes, right? And like I know that it has been a rough few months, I'll say it for me, where everyone is like, "Are you depressed? Are you depressed?" And it was circumstances. So the answer is like, no, I'm very, very down, but it's not depression, it's not chemical. And it's hard to put words to that. If you are feeling that, let me know and we can talk, please. Okay. We can do this. I mean, like, we're a community. And that's like the one thing that I want and need so badly is a home and community. Okay. So all of us together are rising from whatever ashes that we have, and we're going out there. And it can be creative, it can be in love, it can be in work, whatever. Like even with work, I hate saying the word like work because like my passion is technically my work, but it doesn't really make money. And in a world and society that values money, I am looked down on. And worse, within the community and even my parents, I'm looked down on because I use pop culture. But sometimes you have to use what sells to get your message across? Now, the second one sort of goes with the first. Okay. To get that new beginning, you have to learn to let go, it says. Let go. That's really difficult, like of stuff and everything. Like I've been trying to clean out my office just a little bit. You know what? It just got put elsewhere. Like, oh yeah, it looks a lot better, but elsewhere. And look at that artwork. I'm just like, oh, yes. Okay. So letting go, maybe letting go of those ashes, right? Because sometimes it's really difficult not to cling to our misfortunes, even if they really are like truly blessings. I always like give myself in these readings as examples because I think that it's important to know that there's a human sort of sense of this. So letting go. I had to quit my PhD. I did the first semester. I could not continue. I was on 7 different medications within an entire semester, which is like what, 12 weeks or something. And I just couldn't. They were complaining about my grammar. I took it, maybe now it'd be different, but I took it to such heart and I was so afraid. And like 10 years later passed and I was still like, why was I so afraid? And like now I'm like, I wasn't meant for that path. Everyone is going down in flame that of my friends that went into, the university system. So I'm lucky that my path was diverted, but you have to still let go, not of the dream. Feeling those dreams stay with us, but maybe letting go of the shame. Okay. So just letting go. The third card from hard, it sounds like I said car, but I couldn't, of the mystical wisdom deck. You can see her there. Is the 7 deadly sins, humanity's destructive traits. Now, I think that we're going through this throughout the world right now, and maybe within ourselves. I have deep conflicts on many issues. No matter how hard I try, I know one truth because I live it, and then I also know the other truth and I understand it. And so, how do you reconcile? Do you reconcile? I mean, like, that's what I'm struggling with. Gun violence. I don't approve of, obviously, of massacres in the US, but my family are hunters. I mean, like, my favorite memory is probably me shooting an Uzi, which is, one of these guns that they want to outlaw. So what does that make me? I don't want to be a hypocrite. And these are the things that like boil within us, right? And those are our personal destructive traits, not just humanity's. And like, I'm not saying that there is a solution, like a solution, but I do believe, and I preach, and I guess I have to call it preaching, that small things matter. A lot of times I cry when I talk about it. Small things do matter. Another personal anecdote. I probably would have, I probably really would have killed myself. Um, Maybe this should have a trigger warning. I probably would have killed myself when I couldn't read or write if it wasn't for a pastor, even though I didn't believe. I was already way pagan, but I was still cleaning the church. So every Thursday I saw him and he would come up to me and say, "How are you doing, Kim?" And I'd say, "Well, I still can't read." He said, "Well, I'll pray for you." But somehow just having that connection that someone treated me as a human, because I wasn't being treated as a human at a time. I had a very difficult time speaking. I had a really difficult time getting out my feelings, my emotions. I mean, like I couldn't write, I couldn't read, I couldn't. I still have problems with TV and movies. It overwhelms me. So I can like watch like 15-minute clips. So like this pastor who I don't believe in his doctrine would give me a Bible verse, just this. It's pastor. And then he'd actually talk to me like I was human. And that was in a time where I needed to feel human. Okay. So, like, there's ways to like save the world, right? My poems, because of this pastor, pretty much like saving me in some sense, whether you believe that his prayers came true or not, right? Okay. Um, it definitely like I went on to, like I have poems that are circulating. And by circulating, I mean going into multiple anthologies to raise money for Ukraine. And I have mental health poems. that I get emails about and like you just spoke to me and like and I can save lives. It's like those small things that we do. Yes, we all have deadly sins. Yes, like but we have power and we can do it. We just have to sort of believe in it. I go after abuse right now and it hurts me terribly. That's why I've been like down and quite not maybe not quite depressed, but down. And yeah, it's tough. It is tough. And it's tough to fight homelessness and be detained by police and that sort of thing. But it's something that we must do, those small acts. I do believe, like one shove and you have an avalanche. I think those small things will create us and will do big things. I have fights with my friends about this who think of it on the long term. What are you doing with this, Kim? You can't do this, Kim. You're not going to make any difference. This is widespread, Kim. Well, yes, it is widespread, but it doesn't have to end there. It has to start with me. That is like my counsel for that. All right. I did remember the journey of the lonely soul. You can tell that I was having like a hot moment when I got these. All right. So 23, and they don't come with like a book. It says there's a book, but there isn't. And that's because I got a discount. And now I know. Oh, okay. So Twilight debutante, sort of looking off into the distance. I think that I see the longing and loss the most, which is what is in poetry the most. Most writing has some type of longing in it. A lot of art does as well. Stories, some type of longing, wanting to go further, beginning a journey, planning a journey. Okay. So it can begin in darkness, those ashes, and then we keep going. I actually didn't read what this was called. All right. Solace in the secluded garden. I don't know. I don't have much use for gardens, but I know a lot of people do. I know they like tending gardens, and I know they like sitting in gardens, and they meditate and have magic in gardens. And I respect that completely. I am very urban. I tend to be allergic to everything deadly that my father plants. So I can't even usually go outside. I go into the wild though. So like for this card, it seems very dismal to me. I'm very far away, it feels, from West Virginia and my friend there, and it hurts. So the seclusion is good and bad and meditative and can be read both ways. This could be a yes no card if you're seeking something. Just want you to know. All right. Trigger warning. Sexual magic. They have the clothes on. Okay. They do. They're not about it. All right. So our first one was choice. And these are also your yes no cards. If you don't want to take the other one or in addition to. All right. This also doesn't have a booklet, but there's choice. And you can see that there is a man looking in really creepy. And then the woman is looking at herself. The choice, me or them. And it's a difficult question that you have to answer yourself. I can't answer that for you. I am desperately trying to answer that it is me, that am me. But I somehow feel that through another person, and helping them, I will know myself better. And that can be yes, and that can be no as well. Do we really know ourselves through another's eyes or by helping another, or is that just like projecting? I can't tell you. I can't tell you if it's limerence. I can't tell you. I don't know. I can only tell you what I feel. And you can look at the card and think about it. And it's choice. The other one is feelings. which is interesting because we are feeling with those choices and coming through the ashes and going forth. There's a lot of emotions, good and bad. It sort of mixes up and churns, and you lay at night and think about it. And it's sort of just life. And like in the card, the gentleman might be doing some stuff, but seems like he's supplicating, right? He's giving everything for that woman who is not necessarily paying attention to him. Is that us? That's part of yes, no question. Also, are we that woman? She is sort of looking down as well and acknowledging sort of that there is love or at least devotion. And that might be different, right? There's many types of love, and trying to figure out where we are in the spectrum of whatever is like craziest thing. I don't have much experience at all. I'll be first to admit, had one boyfriend. He wasn't a boyfriend, and technically two, but one lasted a day. And I was like, I, I I hooked him up with one of my friends. So I mean, like, yeah. So like when it comes to like this is my relationship advice. No, no. Go with the card. Go with what your gut is, not what I say. Okay. So just think about that. Meditate on that. Choice is definitely a big thing. Feelings. And even if it's not about romance or any of that, it goes with the rest of the reading, right? We are being called on a journey. We've been called on a journey like this whole time. Most of our cards say that each week, you're here, you're on your way. The tarot, these are oracle decks, but the tarot is really the fool's journey, which is a book that I wrote, right? And like you go through like the path of life. And I think we are all learning how to live life. Sometimes the hard way, sometimes luck falls on us. Sometimes luck falls on us and it's still difficult, right? All right. Well, guys, I'm going to get ready for my reading. I would love to see you there. Let me know if you'd like to. I don't have my Buffy steak, it's over there, but Mr. Pointy is ready. Take care, be well, and have a wonderful